All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, fellow pandemic travelers. This is day 74, I believe, of the Seattle Pandemic Shutdown. And again, pandemic, more like Plandemic, am I right? Yeah, there's people who think that this is all a conspiracy. I hear you. I would honestly kind of prefer it be some kind of conspiracy, because then we could solve it and just go, oh, well, luckily that's over. We don't have to worry about that anymore. That's not quite what's happening, though, is it? No, I don't believe that is what's happening. We aren't simply we're not gonna find a leaked email that says, well, then we'll trick the whole world into thinking that this pathogen is real. It's like, nah, China didn't destroy its economy and world standing by, with a hoax. That's not real life. Did they botch it? Yes. Did they kind of fumble? So they sort of fumbled it, but then softballed their help with the rest of the world, right? Like, they were buying up PPE and stuff when they were also saying, oh no, this isn't a big deal, right? So they kind of got kneecapped, but what they did was hide how bad it was so that everyone else looks worse in comparison, because, well, you can't believe anything that comes out of China. I wouldn't. Anyway. But anyways, that's old news. That's in the past. We need to always remember that. And again, looking ahead to the quote-unquote decoupling of our economy from China. Now, that's not going to be overnight. That's not going to be a 100% immediate, disconnect, right? That's not how business operates. And some businesses are only profitable, I imagine, because they utilize cheaper made, materials and components from China, or assembly, labor to assemble products in China. If you were to move it here with our regulations and our minimum wage laws and all those things, then the company might not be profitable. So that means they're going to have to keep their relationship with China, regardless of whether it's the right thing to do or not, if they want to stay in business. So some hard decisions are going to have to be made by various businesses, and never mind the ones that are being forced to stay shuttered, restaurants and such. But what did I see the other day, and I anecdotally have confirmed this, is Kroger said that they hired a whole bunch more checkers and such, and they are mostly from the restaurant, industry. So that's cool. And there's a girl, I recognized her, maybe she just shops there, but she's working the register the other day, and she had pretty good customer service, posture and tone and speed and everything. And she said that she lost her job at a restaurant, so now she's doing the checking thing, and that's good. Again, everybody has to pivot, right? Everyone's kind of pandemic panic pivoting to new stuff, hell, I thought about picking up something at night, like a, stalker job or something. Allegedly they're paying pretty good, and the result is, you can, if you're still working, you could go get another job, or if you're not working, you got to pivot and get one of those gigs. Maybe the unemployment bennies are better for a lot of people, and I'm told that that's true, that there's a lot of people who the amount of money they're getting on unemployment is at least, it's not starvation pay. Like, you're fine, in fact, and you add in some Trump bucks or something, and it works out. I don't know. I know some people would rather just work, though. It's not enough for us to, as I've said for the millionth time, it's not enough for us to just sit back and have the government print money and then give us money that we then pay our bills with. That might seem like a solution to the problem, but all you're doing is, at some point, is essentially contributing to inflation. You're devaluing the dollar because the dollar can't get you stuff. Like my float tank spa. Do you call it a spa? I don't know. Float Seattle. Are they open right now? I don't know. So no amount of money can get you a float session right now if they're closed, right? So you can buy groceries, but you can't necessarily buy anything else. So the whole economy starts to warp and distort. It's kind of my understanding anyway. Although we do kind of need a cultural moment about this. Like I've seen, positive stories about, and it's not too much traffic today, although we're going slow. We need to have a cultural moment, and I'm seeing these positive stories about, landlords letting people, kind of like letting businesses and stuff slide on rent. And this is one of these things where there is a bottom line where people owe money to institutions, but then the institutions are comprised of people, and people can make what you could call the right decision to let people off the hook for things that they are getting ganked with at the moment. And for example, if you own a space that someone has rented reliably, like a business, for example, you want to keep them around. Like you do want to keep good tenants. Same with housing, right? You want to keep good tenants. And so people have to reevaluate their relationships with their, businesses and contracts and everything else. Like one of my Twitter friends who has a show, Talib Starks with Safe Space over at Compound Media, apparently he kind of got hammered with being a sort of freelancer, having all these contracts just sort of evaporate because no one's doing any work at the moment, and then here I am with my stupid job that I have been trying to escape from for literally years and can't. One of the job I was overqualified for a decade ago, it's really the worst, but it's now essential. And so I'm fine, while other people who, do much more complex work, people that I know that work at like, Nordstrom's and stuff like that, doing, not like in store, like they work on the website and everything. People who work at like Amazon and stuff like that, and then they're getting furloughed. And then here's Kyle with this stupid job, and in the middle of all this, I get travel papers, and I'm getting kind of like little bonuses and stuff here and there for all my hard extra work. I'm actually not working as hard now as I did before this whole thing. It's really something. But I know people are getting clobbered out there, and it's why I'm saying that we have to get used to some of this, and we have to get back to work and get used to some of these issues just being part of our lives for a while, and washing our hands a lot, and not going to see friends, kind of a thing. Like you can't just go and do the things you did before, for now, at least for a while, right? See, I say the same things every single day, I think, with these videos, because the same information is available. We still don't know a lot, but we're told these sort of vague, general things, like what we're supposed to do and not do. And I just try to put in some mental homework and try to think a few steps ahead to try and give my listeners get my listeners maybe ahead of the curve, and people I care about, get them taken care of too. So anyways, this is Monday. All right, that's enough from me for one day. Remember, I go out so you don't have to. Bye-bye.